Part of President Roosevelt's New Deal was the Agricultural Adjustment Act of 1936, which primarily aimed to stabilize prices of various crops. The act made price supports for corn, cotton, and wheat to help maintain a sufficient supply in low production periods, along with marketing quotas to keep supply in line with market demand. It also established supports for butter, dates, figs, hops, turpentine, rosin, pecans, prunes, raisins, and many other things. While it was soon ruled unconstitutional, another Agricultural Adjustment Act was passed in 1938. Instead of the federal government funding the act with a tax on processors as it had before, the act would have to be funded with federal government spending. The goal of the act was to decrease crop surpluses by subsidizing farmers who voluntarily cut back on production. This did have drawbacks, however, as agribusinesses with large amounts of land benefited much more than other relatively small farmers. Another important note of the effects of such a policy is that while destroying crops and livestock, when done together, could help increase the purchasing power per crop for farmers, this meant more expensive food for everyone else. This was at a time when unemployment was high and many people were malnourished and hungry. It's also important to keep in mind that the Agricultural Adjustment Act did not end the Great Depression. The macroeconomy was largely still in the dumps, even if some farmers did gain from it. What this means is that farmers gained from the policy at the expense of society as a whole. As is often the case, this pit concentrated group interests against the social interest. Some long-term effects have also arisen from this policy due to its permanence. The 1938 Act is considered part of permanent law for commodity programs and farm income support and became the model for future farm bills. Although provisions of this law are often superseded by more current legislation, if the current legislation expires without new legislation being enacted, the law reverts to the permanent provisions of the 1938 Agricultural Adjustment Act.